like brandy, make you wanna get so handsy. Yes, please, baby, I'm so fancy. Say my name in candy, make you wanna get so handsy. Yes, please, baby, I'm so fancy. Yeah, I'm a shot of something strong, walking every eye is on me. Spinning heads like a disco ball, cause I don't have a good side, they all shine. I just wanna have a good time, skin is like a New York night. I know you've been high and dry, looking for me all your life, but I'm mine. My love's never forever. Might just hold you together for a night. I'm glitter and gold, it's fun till it's over. Come on, get closer, yeah. You miss me, I go. You know I'm fancy, sipping me up like brandy, make you wanna get so handsy. Yes, please, baby, I'm so fancy. Say my name in candy, make you wanna get so handsy. Yes, please, baby, I'm so fancy. I'm so fancy. I hit a little different where you been. I'm rich, I switch up right when you think you got it all figured out. Make it rain, I'm a sky without a cloud, clear as day. The finest thing in life, I'm the baddest kind of right. I know you want it, I'll leave you haunted, but you'll be glad I'm still around. My love's never forever. Might just hold you together for a night. I'm glitter and gold, it's fun till it's over. Come on, get closer, yeah. You'll miss me when I go. You know I'm so fancy, sipping me up like brandy, make you wanna get so handsy. Yes, please, baby, I'm so fancy. Say my name in candy, make you wanna get so handsy. Yes, please, baby, I'm so fancy. I'm so fancy. I'm so fancy.
I'm not saying I'm fancy. That's not what I'm saying. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the world headquarters of AVL here in Los Angeles, California. Thanks, everyone, for joining me once again. I am Plane Jockey Kevin, coming to you live again from the world headquarters here in Los Angeles. I'm repeating myself, apparently. Good to see you guys. It's been a while since you've seen my face, probably last Sunday, right? Jumped in our new 24/7 live stream yesterday for a couple of times yesterday. It was fun to get back into the mix of play-by-play calls. I'm sure I'll be doing that again either tonight or the next few days as well, so keep an eye out. I'll jump back in and out of our live stream. Of course, that live stream is going 24/7 from another location. Not going to disclose where that location is, but we do have the AVL SWAT team keeping guard of all of the equipment, so no worries. Everything is safe. It will be safe. It's heavily guarded by the AVL SWAT team. All right. Again, this is a Q&A, question and answer. Hopefully you got some questions for me, and hopefully I can answer. Also, this morning I got my x-ray that they took, oh geez, almost 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, Thursday. It popped up all of a sudden into my email. I was like, oh, I was really rushing to open it because I wanted to see what's in my arm. I kind of forgot how crazy it looks like. If you guys are open to it, I'll show it to you. If you're open to it. Some of you might, it's an x-ray, by the way, so there's no blood, there's no gore like that. It's very interesting. It's very interesting what's going on in my arm. So we'll hopefully share that with you guys at some point if you want to see it. If you don't want to see it, I don't have to show it to you. But I can guarantee you, I've shown it to enough people here today, including my family and some close friends, and they said, oh, that's interesting, Kevin. Ikes! Ikes! No wonder you're in pain. I'd be in pain too. And of course, everyone that looked at that and said, that's coming back out of your arm, right? I said, oh no, it's with me. It's with me for the rest of my life. Boy, oh boy. All right, anyway, thanks you guys for tuning in. We'll have a little fun. We had this last Thursday. Jengar J with the $2 super chat. Appreciate that. Says, you still got the A380 Lufthansa I gave you. Oh my gosh, Gengar. It's around here somewhere. We have so much stuff that you guys have given us throughout the course of the years. The office, the studio is a complete mess right now, so I apologize. I'm sure it's somewhere around here, just not in my line of eyesight. So thank you again. You guys basically spoil us plane jockeys. Patrick says there's a toy plane inside of his arm. Well, let me see. What did you guys say? Do you want to see it? I mean, I won't hold it back. Okay, you guys want to see it? All right. If you're squeamish to these type of things, look the other direction. Give me 1 second here. Just have to switch. 1791, all right, are we ready? Okay, here it is. Again, a warning. This is inside of Kevin's right arm. All right, get ready for this. That is a metal plate that runs up Kevin's humerus bone. And I think we counted 12 or 13 screws from the bottom to the top. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? It took about 3 hours for them to go in there and basically put everything back together. Yes. That is in your plane jockey's arm. Living proof right there. All right. Yeah, so this is the arm right here. So it basically runs straight down just like that. And I got to tell you, the last couple of weeks, you know, ever since I took that x-ray, I think my arm was still kind of puffy and I really wasn't feeling it as much. In the last couple of weeks, oh, I felt it as my arm is not as puffy. It's going down, and so now I think the body is kind of realizing, like, what is this thing inside of us? What we got to get rid of this. We got to either get rid of it or welcome it. We got to know what to do. So, yeah. So that's going on in my arm, and that's what's causing the discomfort and the pain. And I think it's going to be a while before your plane jockey starts feeling, or at least gets over the hump. I think it's going to be a while. The Kevinator, yes. But you know what? Here's the thing. The surgeon, great guy, you know, he said originally that morning, he said, we're going to go in there and try to piece everything back together. And boy, did they. He said, if we can't piece everything together, things were shattered everywhere. And so he said, we have to go in there and piece everything back together. If we can't piece everything back together, then we're going to basically have to give you a whole new shoulder replacement. That was the second choice. I said, well, whatever you guys have to do. So obviously they went through the surgery. It was about 3 hours that day. And they said it went really well. And of course I was on a lot of drugs. I was like, okay, great. Sounds good to me. And they kicked me out of the hospital and I went home that day. The surgeon called me the next morning on that Saturday and said, everything went great. We're very happy with how the surgery went. And now, as you can see on this x-ray, he claims, and I'll go with him on this, that this went absolutely perfect. My mom this morning was looking at this. She goes, "Where's the metal plate?" I said, "It's the thing that looks like Swiss cheese." Yeah. Yeah, it was a bad break. It was a bad break. As you can see, it's going to take a while for me to get back to normal. But I wanted to share that with you guys. It's part of the whole process, right? Angie Bailey, hello Angie, with the $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Says, "I only want to see the gory stuff." Oh, well, I don't have the CT scan to show you, the original CT scan of the actual break. That was a little hard to look at. Thankfully, I don't have access to that. But Angie, by the way, thanks for stopping by the other day. Your suggestion the other day certainly did help, and I think I've gotten a little bit more sleep this week. So thank you so much, Angie. That was excellent for you to stop by. I appreciate all you do for the channel. Thank you, Angie. You will feel better about 6 months. Yeah, that's, I mean, originally they said 2 to 6 months, and we got the Lufthansa Queen arriving on the north side. Of course, we have the 24/7. Oops, we have the 24/7 live camera up and rolling there on the north side. Of course, you can take a look at it. We've got the 24/7 live camera over here. That's on delay though. It's probably delayed about 5 seconds. Let's see how soon it takes. Of course, all of you at home are watching what I'm watching over there. Of course, it's delayed again by the time you guys get to see this live stream. There it is. There's the Queen. All right. So basically, you can have your share of planes and your plane jockey on 2 different streams here today. I worked this morning to try to get that stream on a double box on this stream, and there's something wrong with our ed units. It's just not working, so I gave up out of frustration. So if you want the planes, we have the 24/7 live broadcast still up. That will continue on day and night. I know a lot of you guys are having a lot of fun with that, so thanks you guys for tuning into that. See, a lot of you guys in the chat are already talking about the picture-in-picture. Can you do picture-in-picture of the live stream? I tried my best. You know, we've had a lot of issues with this ed. Do I dare to call it software? I guess it is software. The unit eds, we have 2 of them. And as much as I love them, they give me more headache than they probably do good. I think we'll keep the ones that we have, but I don't think I'm going to invest in any more money into the eds. Of course, they came out with a brand new ed announced this week. And I'm thinking to myself, well, instead of coming out with bigger and better units, you might want to fix what you already have. So we'll get there. We'll get there. Andy88 with the super chat. Thank you so much, Andy says, "Good evening, Kevin. You might have answered this before, but what was your option on the Delta incident? Expensive repair of A350 and the CRJ, repairable or scrap?" I don't know. That's a good question on the CRJ. I really haven't heard any follow-ups to that accident. He's talking about the Atlanta incident where the A350 was taxiing and the CRJ got his tail knocked over by the wing of the A350. I mean, what's my opinion on that? I mean, I would assume the A350 pilots should have saw that coming. I also heard that the CRJ wasn't far enough on the hold line. So I don't know. I don't know. I'll hold my opinions on that because I really don't have too many facts on that. I would assume they'll be able to repair that CRJ. I don't think it's a whole loss. I guess it all depends what the year of that plane is as well. All right, I'm gonna try it. I'm trying. You know, it's so funny. Like last week, I went back and watched a replay of the Q&A, and there was so many questions that I didn't get to, that I went back and saw on the replay, and it's so hard for me because the chat moves so fast. By the way, I went back to check how many chats there were in the 3.5 hours. You want to know how many chat messages there were in 3.5 hours? 10,000. I think it was 10.3 thousand. 10.3 thousand chats that went through in that 3.5 hours. So 10.3 thousand, that's a lot of chats for my eyes to try to focus in on. So if I don't get to any of your questions, I apologize. I do my best. It's always easier to go back and watch the replay. Carol says, love the 24-hour camera. It's great to look in whenever we want. Yes, that is 24/7. Basically 24 hours, 7 days a week. As many of you guys have tuned in over the overnight hours, especially around 2 to basically about 6 o'clock in the morning. Boy, there is nothing going on. It is peace and quiet there at LAX. It makes for some good background noise. I know I have it on in the background as I'm sleeping every night, and I think I'm getting some better sleep. All right. Hopefully you guys are all having a good week so far. So our next live broadcast, a lot of people have been asking, when's our next live broadcast from LAX? That will be on Sunday. Now, you know, sometimes in life, things just appear, right? People have said that all the time. Things just appear in your life. Sometimes you ignore it. Sometimes you just don't see it. Sometimes things just pop in front of you to get your attention. One of the things happened this morning, believe it or not. I'm going through my YouTube feed, and I blame YouTube on this one. Maybe they're trying to help me out in a roundabout way. They put in my feed a video about a new Sony camcorder. Now, if you remember the whole backstory on the whole camcorder thing here on this channel, you remember we started with a camcorder, the little Panasonic small little camera. It was not good at night. It had a good zoom, good stabilization. Was the quality of the daytime camera as good as it is now? No. And so I worked very hard in trying to find a camera that could replace that. If you remember correctly, this is the time that I basically had a complete burnout, if you guys remember that. I was buying a new camera from B&H every week or every other week. If you remember, we went to a Panasonic, the more expensive Panasonic camcorder. We tried that, did not look as good. Then we went to the Sony camcorder. Actually, I think we did 2 Sony camcorders, and both of those went back. We could not find a camera that worked well for us until one day I just decided to start using what we were using for Nighthawk, and that seems to have worked pretty good. Well, during that time, it was very stressful. I was giving you about 4 to 5 live streams a week as we were testing out the new cameras. So none of those cameras worked, and the reason why a lot of those cameras did not work for us was the technology was 5 to 6 years old. So it wasn't up to date, basically, and I felt for the price that they were asking for these cameras, it just wasn't working well for us. Back to my original thought. So this morning I'm going through YouTube. YouTube puts on my wall feed a video that someone had done about a new Sony camcorder they just came out with, I guess about a month ago. I had no idea that they even came out with a new camcorder. I've been waiting for some news from them. So of course I clicked on it, and of course they were raving, and you know, I hold back a little bit and think, okay, well, I'm just gonna, yeah, you're raving about this camera, but would it really work for what we need to do here on the channel? So I started watching it, and people were like, oh, this is really good for this and really good for that. And I thought, interesting. Then I started remembering that one of the Sony cameras that we actually bought from B&H had a zoom, portable zoom a link. Basically, you could plug it into the camera and you clip it on the tripod, and you could zoom in or out instead of basically having to take your arm and actually zoom in and out, which we have to do on the mirrorless cameras. So, of course, that made my mind start thinking, because as you know, I'm kind of down for the count right now with my right arm, but I do have everything's perfect with my left arm, and I started thinking, well, now hold on a second here. Is this a camera with that portable zoom back and forth that I could basically put on the left-hand side? Because you can switch the arms on the tripod. You can go from right to left. Right now it's on the right. I could put it on the left to put the little zoom on the arm of the tripod, and basically I could sit there on a stool and run the camera once again. That is where my mind has gone here this morning. I ran it by a few people. I said, you know, that's great and everything, Kevin, but one thing you're forgetting to remember, you need to simmer down now. Simmer down now. Even if you could run the channel, it doesn't mean that you can or should. You should be taking it easy. I said, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. So we'll see. We'll see. Don't be surprised if your Plane Jockey Kevin says, hey, I'm back running the camera. We're testing out this new Sony camera. If it doesn't work, I can always send it back. That's the great thing about B&H. But I think it might be a solution around what's to come for the next 2 to 6 months. Obviously, my injury and my arm, as you can see on that x-ray, is going to take some time to heal. But I really want to get behind that camera again. I really love running the camera, so we'll see what happens. But it's interesting, you know, how things kind of just pop up in life and kind of pop in front of you. Sometimes you ignore it, sometimes you don't look at it. We'll look into it. I'm going to look into the camera a little bit more and see if it possibly could be a solution to get Kevin behind the camera once again. That's true. Maybe B&H will loan me one. Help me! Help me! Mark, Plane Jockey Kevin, Mr. Cameraman, can't even run a camera. Help me! Armin V, one of our great mods, gifting 1 Airline Videos Live membership. Thank you so much, Armin. Good to see you. I'll tell you, our mods have been working overtime. Thanks you guys so much on that 24/7 live feed. Danny Düsseldorf, one of our great mods, doing the overnight shift. I'm telling you, Danny, if you're watching, you don't need to be monitoring that chat overnight. I think she just enjoys just watching LAX at nights along with a lot of you guys. So thanks to the great mods doing a great job of stepping up and manning the chat on the 24/7. And I gotta say, that chat is not over the top. We don't have a lot of people in there at any given time. Probably 2 to less than 500 at any given time. So it's not like over the top when it comes to having to manage that chat. We did, however, change the chat from subscribers to members only this morning. And the reason why we did that, I was starting to see some, well, do I call them trolls? Some trolls that I've seen floating around the internet on other streams. Hold on. All right. I've seen them floating on some other live streams, and they started infiltrating our chat this morning with just not nice things to say. So I ran it by Allison. I said, Allison, what do you think about making it a members-only chat? She said, good with me. So we made it members-only. So if you want to chat in the 24/7 live feed, it's a lot of fun. A lot of people do it, popping in throughout the course of the day, maybe 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, come back for half an hour later on in the day. That is members only. Of course, this is open to all subscribers here today. So again, let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully I can answer. All right, let me... So the problem is when I start looking at the chat, then I feel like I'm not looking at you guys. Allison N, one of our great mods. Hello, Allison, gifting 1 Airline Videos Live membership as well. Thank you so much, Allison. Gerald said camcorder would be great for travel instead of all the big lenses and the big stuff. I tell you, that actually would be better with your Plane Jockey Kevin right now. Boy, those lenses are heavy. Oh, Angie says, Kevin, you still need physical therapy. Calm down. I know. I'll get there. Physical therapy is not until October 30th. That's what, 35 days away. That's a long time. I gotta run a camera again, Angie. Even if it's just with my left arm, I promise I will not use my right arm. I will not use my right arm. Melanie says, what made you want to stream at LAX? Well, this is where I live, Melanie, and there's no place like LAX. It's quite the airport with its variety and its traffic. So this is our home base. It's always been that way, and this is one of my favorite airports in all the world. So that's why we decided to stream here at LAX. Fletcher R. Smith gifting 1 Airline Videos Live membership. Thank you so much, Fletcher. I appreciate that. Quite the music that Rudy picked out. This is his playlist. By the way, all of this music that we're playing comes from the music service that we subscribe to, so we don't get any copyright strikes when we use this on YouTube. So that's why we can use all this music. By the way, believe it or not, this is a Spotify playlist. So every piece of music that we are playing here tonight, you can actually find on Spotify. Go figure. Christina asking, Kevin, have you got that Get Well card that I sent you? I did not get any Get Well card. Of course, we'll try to go back to the P.O. Box on Saturday. We went last Saturday, and we pretty much opened everything that was in the P.O. Box last Sunday. So we'll go back on Saturday. I'll let you know, Christina. So hopefully you guys are all having a great week. It's Wednesday, halfway through the week. I wish I had more exciting things to tell you guys. My life consists of basically getting up in the morning, monitoring the 24/7 live feed, ordering some Starbucks, working on some emails, trying to take it easy for the most part, doing some research on some obviously new equipment, and try to take a nap during the afternoon, and then that's it. As much as I want to be out at LAX and you know, working hard for you guys on the channel, out in the field, I just can't at this point, and it drives me nuts knowing that I can't do that. So Margie says, hey, Kevin, your arm situation will be a great addition to your book. I'm telling you. I was telling you guys yesterday on the 24/7 live feed that this has got to be what I say is the worst thing that's ever happened in my life. It's the most annoying, most crazy thing I think that has happened in my life in terms of injury to myself. So yeah, it deserves its own chapter in the book, that is for sure. Craig asking, has Kevin ever been approached to sell the channel or its content? We do get requests a lot for people wanting to purchase certain videos that we've captured. We always come back with our offer, and then they come back with their offer, and usually, for the most part, people don't want to pay the price for our work, and so the deals really never go through. But we do get people requesting video for movies or TV shows or commercials or whatnot. So it's all in what they offer and we offer, and Sometimes it works, sometimes it, most of the time it doesn't. But has anybody ever approached to say, hey, we want to buy the channel? No. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know what the channel is worth. If you go to some websites, some websites out there document this is what the channel is worth, this is what the channel makes, and blah, 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 blah. There was one website that said that this Airline Videos Live channel is worth $2 million. Now, if that's true, I have no idea. I have no idea. If it's worth $2 million, well, there's my life savings. There's better than buying a house at this point, right? But something tells me it's very hard for me to believe that, so we'll just continue on. And I guess the follow-up question to that be, would Kevin even want to sell the channel? Absolutely not. The Airline Videos Live is my baby. And at this point in my life, I'm not ready to give it up. Absolutely not. Not even Netflix. Netflix don't even come knocking at my door. Nope. Ain't gonna get it. Nope. Renee. Hello, Renee. Good to see you. Kevin, I know it's early, but just wondering if you're planning something for Halloween. Hope that's not too bad to ask so early. Of course not. Of course we got something going on for Halloween. We'll have a Halloween show. I think it's on a Thursday this year. I think Rudy possibly was going to be there early as well. I'm going to get Charlie out to help as well. So yes, there will be a Halloween show. I don't know if I'm going to be decked out in any Halloween costume this year like last year, but I'm sure Rudy will. And it'll still be fun hanging out there at Imperial Hill with all the trick-or-treaters and the airplanes and the spooky good fun. So definitely we'll have a Halloween show. I was telling you guys yesterday on the 24/7 live feed, someone asked about the Halloween show, and I was talking about growing up as a kid on those sitcoms, and I remember there was at least 3 I remember. Modern Family was probably the most recent one that I remember. Home Improvement, remember, with Tim Allen, and Roseanne, the early episodes of Roseanne. They always did a yearly Halloween show, if you guys remember that. And as a kid, I always looked forward to what kind of Halloween episode they were going to do on all 3 of those shows. So I guess it kind of like was stuck in my mind that if I could do a Halloween show every year, then definitely try to do it. So, oh, it's our closing song. By the way, I was talking yesterday about possibly moving Sunday's show to the H Hotel. Rudy and I discussed it last night, and no, we're going to keep it at Imperial Hill on Sunday. The temperature is going to be a little warm. I wouldn't say hot, but a little warm on Sunday. And of course, it's about 10 degrees hotter up there at the H Hotel on the 12th floor patio deck. So instead of turning your Plane Jockey Kevin into Plane Kevin Bacon, I think we're going to keep it at Imperial Hill at least this week. When the temperatures start coming down a little bit, I think we'll head up to the H, since we can't really give it an H Hotel show during the week. So again, Sunday show back at Imperial Hill. I know some of you guys were coming into town, wanted to stop by and grab some goodie bags and some trading cards. We'll be there, and we'll more than likely start the show again at about 10 a.m. I know it's 2 hours later than we normally have, but you know, Kevin needs to sleep in and make sure this arm, just in case you forgot what my arm looks like, there's the X-ray of what was done to Kevin's right arm. That's a metal plate with, I think, 12 to 13 screws put in place, holding basically everything together. We showed it to you guys earlier in the show. But basically, that is what I'm currently trying to deal with. And so that is why your Plane Jockey Kevin needs to sleep in and get as much sleep as I can. And that's the best way to recover from this accident. Rich Riley says, any fridge magnets stick to Kevin's shoulder? You know, I haven't tried that. There's just a magnet over there. Maybe we should try it. Blue Dragon who says, that's not just a break, you shattered your shoulder. I did it. I shattered it. There was pieces that basically went everywhere. And I think what you're seeing with those screws is basically piecing everything together. I don't even know if they had to did they glue things back together? Super glue? I don't know how they do that. I don't want to know. I'm just glad that I never heard a thing, never saw anything, and next thing I knew, it was done. But I thought you guys would all get a kick out of seeing the X-ray. I've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now, so. If you guys are watching the 24/7 live feed, we have a couple of heavies heading toward the north side. China Airlines Flight 6 coming in from Taipei, A350, followed by Turkish Airlines. Looks like a 787-9, a Dreamliner, Flight 179, coming in from Istanbul. Running about 2 hours late as well for that Turkish. Oh, Angie says no glue. Well, how did they put everything back together? With those screws? I don't want to know. All they said, it went great. That's all I need to know. It went great. Fine with me. Fine with your Plane Jockey Kevin. I don't need to know all the details. All I remember when I went to the ER originally, the nurse came up and, well, first of all, he wanted to make sure I didn't dislocate my shoulder. So he was looking at the bone, basically, I guess, goes up above your rib cage. And I guess if you dislocate your shoulder, something is bent out of place there. So he looked there first and said, I don't see anything. So then he went up and touched and was feeling around, and I don't want to gross you out, but you could actually hear crumbling sound just a tad. And he goes, oh yeah, I can feel some crumbles in your shoulder. I said, yeah, I can hear it. Yeah, anyway. Our legend Jane with a $550 super chat through PayPal says, thank you for doing another Q&A. Hello, Jane. Thank you so much. That is amazing support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see all those legend Jane emojis there in the chat. Thank you so much, Jane. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for joining us here today. Crunchy, yeah. Yeah, John, let me put your message here on the screen. John M says, Kevin, have patience. You severely injured your shoulder and you need healing time. Patience. I know. That's probably why I think trying to invest in a new camera system right now is probably wishful thinking, but probably realistically, what are you going to do? You know, I was talking to Allison Ann about it this morning. She goes, well, you know, you could get that camera and you could do the whole AV on the fly, but make sure it's the real AV on the fly. I said, well, not Angie, Allison, that sounds great and everything, but at this point, I can't even put up the tripod. So I can't lift, I can't put the tripod up. So what's the point in getting a new camera, even though I can just zoom in and out with a little clip on the tripod? But if you can't put the tripod up, then what's the point of that, right? So there's a limitation still, and I just have to, like you said, John, sit back, relax, patience, which I don't have. So yeah, I'll research it. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens here. What are you hearing over there? Turkish, the Dreamliner, arriving on the north side. Joseph with the $2 super chat. Thanks so much, Joseph. Says, have you started physical therapy? Not yet, Joseph. First day for physical therapy is October 30th, the day before Halloween. They actually originally wanted me to start on Halloween Day. I said, can we move that to a different day? I don't know if I want to do physical therapy on a day that I actually have a show. I said, I don't know what you guys are planning to do, but I don't want to be in pain for the rest of the day. So they moved it up to the 30th, one day early. So it doesn't sound like the first visit is going to be too bad. More like a consultation to figure out what's wrong with you, what are we going to do to help you here. Of course, Angie, you scared me the other day. She goes, oh, physical therapy? Good luck. I said, Angie, don't tell me that. Oh, I'll get through it. I'll get through it. Robert Braun with an awesome $50 super chat. Thank you so much, Robert. Appreciate your awesome support. Says the main thing is the surgery is over now. You can fly. You know, that's a good point there, Robert. The worst is over. It's just pain and discomfort now, and that is just normal when you have, well, when you have that craziness in your arm. It's gonna last for a while. So, Robert, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Gerard, one of our great mods, gifting one airline videos live at membership as well. Thank you so much, Gerard. Oh, speaking of mods, by the way, I don't know if he's in the chat. Luke, the random spotter, I think he is in the chat, becoming one of our new mods here today. Congratulations, Luke. Luke hung out with us in Chicago. The funny story, so we're at Giordano's for pizza with our friend Linda and Rudy. We're sitting next to, well, we're sitting at a table that's right next to these big windows at Giordano's, and it was near Chicago O'Hare. And of course, you could see all the planes land flying right over the pizza joint. So we were enjoying some pizza and some planes, and next thing you know, Luke comes over, introduces himself on the planes. I'm gonna screw up the random spotter. Say I almost wanted to say the plane spotter. The random spotter says, I'm Luke. So we met him and his family at Giordano's that night. He hung out with us the next day outside of O'Hare, and then Luke and his family were here for Spot LAX as well. So I've gotten to know Luke and his family very well. So welcome aboard, Luke. Good to have you. Thank you so much. And Armin V, one of our great mods, back with the super chat. Thank you so much, Armin. This is Kevin. So now that we see how your shoulder looks, how did the concrete block look after you connected with it? It's probably went thousands of pieces, right? No, it's intact. It's intact. It's, yeah, I don't know. You know, I go back and I think about that all the time, and there were video cameras that were rolling, and right after it happened, I had nightmares of thinking, if I saw that video of me falling over it, that would just, I don't know if I could watch it. I think I might lose it. So it's it's a occurrence that I don't want to see, even in video form. It's not something I want to see. Global Travel with a $5 super chat. Thanks so much, Global Travel. Says, I just got YouTube Music subscription. Can I use Christmas music in my videos, or is that copyright? Well, there's two different services. So there is YouTube Music that is copyright free, which you can find, I think, in the YouTube Studio on their webpage. YouTube Music, I believe, is a service like, isn't it like Spotify? So technically, that is still copyrighted music. So you would have to use the music that YouTube is offering to you as copyright free. If I were you, if you're looking for music to use in your YouTube channels, there's a lot of services out there. Just go search online for music to be used in YouTube videos. I'm telling you, there's a ton of services out there. More than likely, they all pretty much have the same music, but there is some good stuff out there. It all depends how much money you want to spend. More than likely, you're looking at either $100 to $300 a year for the rights to use a lot of that music. But like I said, YouTube does offer some free, copyright-free music you can find on the website. But I do believe YouTube Music is a service just like Spotify, so be very careful about that. Night Ranger with a $5 super chat. Thanks so much. Night Ranger says the top 5 countdowns are popular. Do you have a mental list of your top 5 captures? Holy moly, of course. You do a great job. Keep up the great work. That's a really good question. Of course, Holy moly would be number 1 on the list. What would follow that? That is actually a pretty good thing. You know, I could put a video together of the top 5 moments that we've captured here in AVL. That's a good idea. I think I'll look into that. Night Ranger, thank you so much. All right, trying to get back into the chat here. Sender says very cool stickers on your laptop. Yeah, a lot of these stickers you find in the goodie bags. I'm trying to think, is there a sticker here that we don't offer anymore? Yes, the disco ball AVL logo. Here, if I raise it up a little bit, you guys can actually see them a little bit better. We don't actually offer these are our sticker versions of the trading cards. We don't have those anymore, at least those 2. We now have the one on the bottom, which is of Rudy and I. Everything else we pretty much still hand out in our goodie bags, as well as some others that aren't on the back of that. But thank you. Yeah, we like our stickers. We make sure, if you notice, holographic, so it always gives you that cool effect. Cool effect. Amber asking, hey Kevin, do you ever get fighter jets at LAX? Once in a great while. It's been, geez. Did we capture an F-16 on Imperial Hill? That was at least 2 to 3 years ago. It was a long time ago. It's very, very rare that we get the fighter jets at LAX. We do get the C-17s, the C-5s, pretty often, but fighter jets, not too often, but once in a great while, they'll pop up. Paul MK says, where is the JFK sticker on the laptop? Oh, that's true. Well, I can only fit so many on the laptop. There's a little weird space. I think I gotta find a smaller sticker. That JFK sticker is actually pretty large. Uncle Plane Guy says that was an F-18 Hornet. We saw it in Imperial Hill. In fact, CBS Morning News, when they did that story about Rudy and I, they actually used a clip from that day. Sim Pilot Spud, this is where are all the model planes from. The quality look very nice. Definitely need to get a couple. So a lot of these models have been gifted to us plane jockeys. The model set that you see right here, the ANA Hanu Turtles, the complete set, believe it or not, these are made by JC Wings, were gifted to me by Legend Jane. It's a beautiful set. We saw these Hanu Turtles A380s when we were in Honolulu back in May. Instantly fell in love with it, and Jane says, well, I'm going to get you the set. So not only did I get a set, I think Jane got herself a set, and I think Rudy got a set as well. And I was talking about this last week, that there's not too many models out there that actually you get a set like this. It's cool that there's 3, and they are just absolutely beautiful. Of course, my favorite in person that I saw was the orange, followed by the blue, and then the green. So Beautiful planes, beautiful models, and a lot of them, including the Cargolux, not without my mask, also gifted by Jane. There's models galore here in the office here at the world headquarters at AVL. So thanks, you guys. A lot of you guys giving us models as well, so we appreciate that. Thank you so much. I gotta invest in some shelving here in the office, as well as some other things. Michael Fontana gifting 1 Airline at Videos Live membership. Thank you so much, Michael. Appreciate that. Global Travel with the $2 super chat is what is the subscription that you're using for the music? Unfortunately, I can't tell you that. I wish I could. Tell you what, Global Travel, send me an email. I'll let you know. I just can't advertise it over the air. I've got too many people listening and watching every little thing that your Plane Jockey Kevin says. Next thing I know, everyone else will have the same music. And that's no fun. Kevin, do you have any other hobbies? No, I don't. Aviation was my hobby, and of course now I've turned it into a career. And that's fine. You know, there's not too many instances in life that you can turn your hobby into career. So I'll take that. With that being said, I guess the next follow-up question to that would be like, well, since aviation has turned into your career, your hobby has now turned into a career, why don't you find another hobby? Do you like to draw? Do you like to paint? Do you like to do this? Do you like to do that? I'll tell you what I do enjoy. I enjoy working on the channel and giving you guys the best live broadcast and best high quality airline videos you can find. Maybe I need to find a new hobby while I rest a little bit. That would probably be a good thing too. I'm not quite sure what that hobby would be. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I guess I could, you know, I used to be into those apps on your iPhone. Airport simulations, airline simulations where you run your own airline. I used to be addicted to those apps, and sometimes when I'm bored, I'll go back into the App Store on Apple and I'll type in airline simulation, and I'm always looking to see if there's some new hot airline simulation that's popped up out of there. Nothing really new. It seems like new versions of some of the older versions of apps that were already out are out. I don't know, maybe I need to look into that again. I get addicted to that kind of stuff. Because if you know anything about me in aviation, I never wanted to be a pilot. I just love the airline industry. I love how things are dealt, how planes are bought and why they're bought for certain reasons, and the liveries and the route system and stuff like that. I always find that fascinating, and so I think that's why I like those airline simulation type games, if that makes any sense. Well, hello, Think Planes. I see you in the chat. Let me try to get your... Simon and Liz. Hello, Think Planes there in Manchester says, isn't researching new equipment a hobby for you? Hashtag always working hard. Pretty much. You know, I was mentioning the other day, a lot of people are asking me, Kevin, why didn't you get a PTZ camera for the 24/7 live feed? And I've been doing a little research on those cameras, and I think that's going to take some time to, if we're really going to pursue that as an option to maybe replace the 24/7 live camera that we have right now. Obviously, we'd go to a different location. there's a lot of research that has to be done on that. And I think there's some new cameras coming out. There's a lot of new stuff coming out in the last few weeks. And things are always changing as well. So with a PTZ camera, basically what that camera is, it's like a security camera, basically. It's one of those, big cameras, usually inside of a box. Well, you put it in a box, so it's weatherproof. But it basically can zoom, it can pan. Some of these cameras nowadays are so intelligent that they can track certain things. Now, I'm looking into the whole AI tracking on a camera. Haven't seen too many things recently that would be good. And of course, a lot of these PTZ cameras, not the best at night. But I am starting to research that, just so you guys know. So don't think that I'm just blowing it off. I think what we have going on right now for the 24/7 live camera was, as I told you guys the other day, it was a last-minute deal. In fact, I sat here last Thursday and asked you guys a question. I said, let me just throw this out to you guys. Would you enjoy a 24/7 live camera? A lot of you guys said yes. There was some people that said don't waste your time. So that came out of a discussion from last Thursday that was always been in the back of my mind, and we were able to, because of our partnerships with certain places, be able to turn that around in a quick time. So that came up on Saturday. It is locked down. It's highly secured by the AVL SWAT team. So don't worry, no one's going to steal the equipment. I have to get through the AVL SWAT team first. So that's the first step in that. Not to say that that will last forever in the concept and the way that it looks right now, but it is what it is right now because of the last minute way of putting that together. And I got to be honest with you, to be able to put something together within a day or two, to have that angle and great ATC, great sound, and I think that the picture for it not moving, it gives you a lot. You can see planes landing on 24 right. You can see them lining up on 24 left. You can see Terminal 1, a little bit of Terminal 2, of course the theme building, the tower, and then if the skies are clear, you can see planes taking off on the south side as well. So it gives a little bit of everything. Yes, it's not 100%, but it's not the end of that as well. It's just the start on the 24/7 live feed. And I know that's not for everyone as well. A lot of people enjoy the commentary, enjoy what we do on our main shows, and those are not going away either. The Sunday show will continue with Rudy, since he's able to help me with the camera. And until this plane jockey, me, it starts improving, and of course it's going to take months, we will slowly but surely start bringing back the main week shows. So everything will eventually get back to normal. I'm just trying to find ways to kind of fill in the gap, aka sitting here. Oh, that's an Air Tahiti Dreamliner. Aka me sitting here in the World Headquarters and giving you a 24/7 live feed. I'm always trying to fill the gap, and not to say that I won't try to fill the gap with even more. But this is what we got so far. Craig with a question. This is Kevin. I have a question. I'm seeing so much growth happening at LAX Airport and like to know, what is LAX plan on expanding, and will the expansion add more flights and passengers? Well, there was an article that came out last week, Craig. You know, I've been talking about the expansion to Terminal 0, which is there on the northeast corner of LAX. Apparently, they're going to scrap Terminal 0. Terminal 0 is apparently not going to happen now, at least at this point, and they're going to utilize the money that would have been spent on Terminal 0 and utilize that to upgrade existing terminals. Terminal 9, which is where the Eagle's Nest is currently, is still going to happen. Of course, that terminal is a little bit different, where that's going to be a Star Alliance terminal. So basically, from what it sounds like, they're going to put an A380 gate also at the new Terminal 9, which will eventually be called Terminal 8. So basically, Lufthansa will be heading to Terminal 9 instead of going to Tom Bradley. So once Terminal 9 is built, you will no longer see the Queen or the A380 or whatever Lufthansa brings in. That will be heading over to Terminal 9. And as long as they don't build it too high That's my hope, that they don't build it too high, or how they build it, we will still be able to see the gates and the planes because we have a perfect spot high atop the HOTL on the 13th floors. So hopefully when that is built, it doesn't knock our ability to see anything. So that's the hope. So that is the expansion. Of course, they also have the expansion of the West Gates happening. They're going to start moving those new module that they've been building off of Westchester. They're going to be moving those over to the West Gates slowly but surely. It's going to be a very slow process. Basically, it's like one piece of the terminal every single night, and it sounds like it might take up to at least 3 to 4 weeks to do so. The mover, I can't remember exactly what the name of the mover is. Basically, this big platform that is basically going to move it really extremely slow from the Westchester area over to the West Gates. Then, once they unload it, that loader has to go slowly but surely then back to Westchester. So it's going to be an overnight process for quite a while. So sounds to me like the expansion of the West Gates, once all those modules are put into place, sounds like that's probably another 6 to 9 months out from that actually being open. So we've got the expansion of the West Gates. Terminal 9 is still on the books as the being built, but it sounds like Terminal 0, which I'm still, and I talked about this last week, I was trying to figure out what Terminal 0 was really going to be, because there was talk about adding heavy gates to Terminal 0, but then at the same time, there's a lot of talk that that was going to be an expansion for Southwest, and I'm not quite sure Southwest really needs the expansion at LAX right now, so I don't know what the real thought process was originally with Terminal 0, but for right now, that expansion has been scrapped at the moment, so. Q&A, I'm here to answer any of your questions. Well, hopefully, I don't know everything. I will definitely say that. I'm not a person who knows everything. Shout out to our mods in the chat right now. Gerard, Danny, Dusseldorf, Armin, Soul Searching Emily, Allison N, the Random Spotter, Luke, one of our newest mods. Thanks for helping out. Mile 54 Productions is asking, what is your favorite camera brand? I'll be honest with you, I love Panasonic. I really do love Panasonic when it comes to the camcorders, but they really haven't come out with anything spectacular in terms of camcorders in a while. We gave them a good try, we certainly did. It did not work out, and so we are full Sony at this point. We've made the switch to full Sony. It would be a year ago in January. And not to say we haven't had our issues with the Sony cameras. It's been a struggle in some ways, but the quality, I think, has gotten better. Now, if I do indeed start looking at this new Sony camcorder, the form factor of a camcorder is probably, it's built better for what we do at the live streaming. You know, the one bad thing about a mirrorless camera than what we do, great quality, especially at night. That is my other fear about this camera, is that it may not be good at night, and so that's why I have to research it and say, you know, are we gonna have to switch to Nighthawk again from using this? So we'll figure it out. But the one argument, the one gripe that I have about the mirrorless cameras that we use for what we do at the airport is, you know, those lenses are large. we use the Sigma 60 to 600 millimeter lens. That is a very long, big lens. And so your arm can get tired, especially with the Sigma. It's not as the Sony lens that we used to have, which was 200 to 600 millimeter. Very nice lens. We still have that. It wasn't wide enough for what we wanted to do, especially when we were high atop the H Hotel or even at Imperial Hill. 200 millimeters is your widest part of your lens, is a little tight. So that's why we ended up going to the Sigma 60 to 600 millimeter. But that is a big lens, and it can tire you out going back and forth, having to zoom in and out with that lens. So that's my only gripe using the mirrorless cameras like that. But the quality still looks good. Simon direct messaged me. You know what camera I'm talking about? This new Sony? I think it's called the Z200. You've had that camera? Did you have your hands on that camera? Is it not good? Interesting. Simi Valley Pat says, hey Kevin, thoughts on the Alaska equation of Hawaiian Airlines? I'll be honest with you. I'm hearing some rumors. I'm hearing some rumors that possibly could be true. I don't want to say too much because they are rumors at this point. Certainly no one has confirmed anything, and I won't go into any details. But I will say this, from what I'm hearing, a lot of you guys are going to be pretty shocked at what is going to be happening between Alaska and Hawaiian. I don't know how soon these changes are going to be. Could be weeks, could be months, could be years, but there's certainly going to be some dramatic changes with those two airlines. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I think it's going to cause a lot of, do I dare say, anger from certain airlines. Certainly with the AvGeek community, I think a lot of people are going to be scratching their head and going, "What?" So I'm not gonna go on and say exactly what I've heard. I just heard some things from a legitimate source. So just keep an eye out. There will be changes, and I think there will be a lot of changes that you're really going to be surprised by.
Close your eyes.
Paige says, shocked in a good or bad way? Well, that's a good question. I guess it all depends on who you are and what you like. Some people might go, yes. Some people might go, are you kidding me? It really all depends on which way you swing on a lot of things. But there's going to be some changes. That's all I'm going to say. So if anybody sits around and says there ain't going to be any changes, I don't think that's going to happen. No way. You know, I was talking about this on Sunday. You know, Kenneth just brought up another thing about Southwest. You know, I was talking about this on Sunday. We are living in a very strange time. Not to say this has never happened before in aviation. Of course, if you look at aviation history, this happens all the time. So this is nothing new. But we're dealing with a lot of airlines right now. And the airlines that we're dealing with, obviously the merger with Alaska and Hawaiian just happening. There will be changes with that. JetBlue, if you look at what everything's going on with JetBlue, they're cutting back on routes, not taking delivery on airplanes. I think that really has to do with issues with the A321neo and the engine issue. But they've really cut back, And I'm not completely surprised by that, because if you've been watching here on the show, I flew JetBlue many times back and forth between New York and Boston last year. This last time that we flew them this past summer, things had improved a little bit, but certainly a year ago, you could see that, where the oil needed to be put on, the chains, because there was some issues. So it didn't shock me that they made that announcement of some changes to the airline. I hope they pull through. I hope whatever they're doing, the thought process of cutting back, trying to be profitable in many ways, hopefully that pulls off for them, because I really do like JetBlue. I think they offer a great product. But just seeing what's going on with JetBlue, I mean, if you think about it, JetBlue was massively expanding, and of course they wanted to merge with Spirit, and that never happened. So that's left JetBlue kind of in a weird position. At the same time, Spirit hasn't been in good financial in a good financial place for a long time, and so there's a lot of talk about how the ULCC ultra low cost carrier business plan is just not working right now in the United States. So, of course, JetBlue doesn't fall under the ULCC. Spirit does. So you've got that. And then you've got everything going on with Southwest. That's a whole nother animal over there, what's going on at Southwest. I said many, many months ago that potentially I think there was going to be a merger, and I think I'm backing away from what I said a few months ago. I'm not saying it's completely off the table, because I'm not quite sure exactly what the thought process of what's going on over at Southwest is right now. Could there be a merger between Spirit and Southwest at some point? Possibly. And I think the one reason, if there was going to be a merger between Southwest and Spirit, really would come down to one thing. It would be that Southwest has finally given up the whole all Boeing 737 fleet and says, hey, you know what, we need to diversify, we need to have some Airbus in our fleet just in case, things don't improve at Boeing or whatever, and whatnot. What a better airline than Spirit, who has a majority of brand new A320, A321 aircraft ready to go. Of course, you got the pilot, you got the training center. So it'd be, to me, if you're going to merge from an airline that only flies 737s and you were in desperate need of some Airbus qualified pilots and aircraft, Spirit would definitely be one that you would look at. So with that being said, and that may not happen, but you've got a lot on instability going on with a lot of the low-cost carriers here in the U.S. So it's going to be very interesting here in the next couple of months to see where this all kind of levels out and what happens. Back to your super chats. Anna, the dispatcher with the $2 super chat. Thanks so much, Anna. Says you would make an amazing dispatcher. I don't know about that, Amanda. You got, I've talked to many dispatchers. You guys, I don't know how you do it, especially when you have to do with weather and all that kind of stuff. Props to you guys. I don't think I could do your job. Thank you, Anna. Armin V, one of our great mods, back with the super chat. Thank you so much, Armin. Says, please share another throwback video of young Kevin. Do I you know what? Maybe I could start working on that. I have a lot of time to do that, don't I? Rita Loy with a $5 super chat. Good to see you, Rita. Says another top 5 list was Yankee Tangy taken off on 24 left. Oh, that's right. That is right. Good one there, Rita. Boy, that was a day. Yes, how did I forget that? All right, I think that would be number 4. I'm sorry, number 2. Number 1 would go, holy moly, Yankee Tangy taken off on 24 right that day when 24 left was closed down. Certainly number 2. So we got the first 2 out of 5. Gosh, I got to figure out what the next 3 are. Anna, the dispatcher, back with a $2 super chat. Thanks so much, Anna. Says Southwest announced route cuts today. Oh, that's right. I did hear about that. You know what? you know, here's the one thing that I will never understand about the airline industry is that more people are flying than they have in many years. Many people are flying. The plane tickets are still kind of expensive. So you got more people flying. You're making more money probably than you have since the pandemic. And then all of a sudden, you make some bad moves, and then you got to start cutting things. It always happens in the airline industry, and it drives me nuts. You know, Anna, I don't want to be a dispatcher. I want to be a CEO of an airline. I want to be a CEO of an airline. I think I could do that because I think I would make some better decisions than some of these CEOs. Oh, it's the Nighthawk top of the hour music. Jackie Culver says, Kevin, all the reverse ops in the rain with those A380s. Oh, that's right. Remember that day we were at Imperial Hill? I think it was the hurricane remnants of the tropical storm. And that A380 with Asiana, remember it? I think it did 3 laps around Lima and 7 rights because of storms that were north. So just as it was starting to roll down 7 right, it decided to cancel, get back in line, and I think it went 2 or 3 times around the block, if I remember correctly. Don Carp says, you become a CEO and the greedy investors will get rid of you if you do not go with their agenda. Well, you're probably right on that. You're right on that. You're right on that. I would never make my airline public. Then you don't have to deal with that, right? But you're absolutely right there, Don. This is, by the way, this is the music that Rudy did not like. He wanted to change. This is the top of the hour music for Nighthawk, and he said, I don't like this. I don't like this. It's too poppy for the Nighthawk. I said, all right, fine, we'll change it, and I never did. I never did. Now he likes it, so we'll just stick with it. Oh, Allison has another one. Catching Air Force One from the H during reverse ops was a good one, too. That was a good one. It always amazes me to read the comments on that Facebook and YouTube post on that takeoff. A lot of people say, what is the big deal? What's the big deal? It's Air Force One taking off at LAX. Well, why is this such a big deal? It was a big deal because it was during reverse ops. It was taking off at 6 right, which was very, very, very rare. I think that was a good moment as well. Thank you, Allison. There is a Qantas A380 Super arriving from Sydney, flight 11. Next arrival on the north side. So if you want to catch the arrival, you can go switch over to the 24/7 live feed right here on Airline Videos Live. Or you can stay with me, or maybe you have 2 screens up at the same time. That's what we like to see. Of course, we have both chats going on in both streams as well. Ryan with a $2 super chat. Thanks so much, Ryan. Says Craig Pilkington and Booger say hi from Burbank. Hello, you guys there in Burbank. Is it nice and sunny in Burbank? We've been seeing fog galore here at LAX all week long. I wouldn't doubt that Burbank over there in the valley is seeing sun. Hello, you guys. Thank you, Ryan. Are you guys having a good week so far? Are you having a good week? Oh, there's the A380. Let's turn it up. A380 never gets old. Aviation Filmography with the $2 super chat. Appreciate that, sis. Hey, it's Ken Wood. It was great to see you back in 2023. Hey, Ken Wood, what's up? Appreciate that. Thank you so much. I think the hardest thing for your Plane Jockey Kevin right now is, well, first of all, not being able to get out to LAX to do live streams during the week, but not being able to travel as well. What a bummer. What a bummer. You know, I was hoping to head to Dallas mid-October. I wanted to get back to Reagan National, and I wanted to get back to JFK as well. And, well, that's all down the drain at this point. So we'll get there eventually, but I really do miss traveling, that's for sure. Jackie's asking, Kevin, can you see the aircraft from the office or just hear them? I can just hear them. I can't actually see them. I'm just staring at a wall. So when you see me look this way, I'm actually looking at a wall. I'm just visualizing what the planes will look like. You know how you do that? You just have to look at a blank wall so you can visualize. I can't see any planes from where we are. Just hear them. Paige says, a great week. Booked my trip to LA for New Year's Eve. Coming out for the New Year's Eve at the H. Excellent. Should be a good time. Should be a great time. Jackie asking, have you thought about using a robotic camera system when Rudy is not available, similar to the one that Newscast uses? Well, here's the thing I don't think a lot of people think about. It's not just about running the camera, it's about setting up all the equipment as well. I can't do that, so I would have to hire someone to do that for me. Not to say that's a problem. There are some close friends to the channel that I would trust with the equipment to do that. But yeah, it's not just about running the camera, and sadly, there's just a lot I cannot do. Now, a lot of people say, well, Kevin, can't you just hire someone to basically do this or do that for the channel? I don't know if you guys are like this, and maybe I'm very protective of my baby. I am very protective about who I bring into the channel, who I allow into the channel, who I allow to see certain back-end things of the channel. In today's day and age, you got to be very careful about that. Certainly in the world of aviation live streams, we all know it's become a totally different place in the last 3 years. It's become very, I would say, hostile in many ways. And I think I've become even more protective of AVL in the last few years. So I'm very, very, if I don't know you very well and I don't trust you, there's no way I'm going to trust you in basically seeing the inside outs of the backside of AVL, and certainly put you in charge of our wonderful equipment. So yeah, it's sad, but it's true. And that's the way we are. That's the way it is. And, you know, I could have someone else out there running the camera and doing the commentary, but this channel, I'll be honest with you, it's Plane Jockey's channel. It's Rudy and I. And if Rudy and I are not giving you the play-by-play or at least running the camera, I think a lot of people wouldn't be really interested, because it's not us. You know, the channel is more about the planes. It is a lot about the people, and the people that run, that you see, like me, on camera. You know, the one thing, and I always tell people about this is the most interesting thing, and this goes back to my world of TV news, is when I worked in Phoenix, Arizona, that's where my mom lived as well. My mom, she loved KPNX, Channel 12, NBC. Loved it. Since the day she moved to Phoenix, she loved Channel 12. You couldn't pull her away from Channel 12. Now, I asked, Mom, why do you like Channel 12 so much? I like the people on 12. I like the people on 12, she would say. It wasn't about how good Channel 12 was getting the breaking news or whatever. It was about the people that she saw on camera talking. She enjoyed those people. So when I moved out to Phoenix and I started working at a couple of different TV stations, Channel 10, Channel 15, Channel 5, I would call my mom up and say, Mom, did you see my story? Did you see this? No, no, I was watching Channel 12. I said, Mom, you're not even going to watch my channel that I work at? Your son's working at Channel 5. You're not going to watch Channel 5? No, I like my Channel 12. So years and years that would happen, and I know a lot of people that are very devoted to certain news channels. Now, if you look at it in any market, in any city in the country, you have about 4 to 5 different channels doing news. And for the most part, they're all doing basically the exact same thing, right? What gravitates people toward watching one channel over the other is not how good they are at breaking news. Now, some people might notice that, but most people don't notice that. It's about the people. It's about the people and liking the people that they see on TV. So I walked away from TV news realizing that, you know, anyone can go out and go to the airport and show you planes and shoot planes, but a good chunk of what we do and what makes AVL very successful is about the people behind the scenes, our mods, and the people in front of the camera, Rudy and I. So I think a lot of people always ask that question, why can't you have somebody else do it? And my answer to that is, it just would not be the same. It would not be the same. We are the channel, and if we're not on it, it's just not going to feel the same to many. So that's my answer to that. So I think a lot of people... I think a lot of people don't realize that, but all of my years in TV news, I picked up on what makes people watch certain channels for certain reasons, and really had nothing to do about how well they were doing the news. Really, it was on the bottom of the list. So even here in Los Angeles, it's very interesting. I mean, there's one station that I worked at, KTLA. I would say out of all the TV stations here in LA, KTLA has always had the same look. They've had the same music, they have the same graphics, they changed the studio, the set once in a great while. The set that they have right now is just absolutely beautiful. They don't change people very much. The people stay the same. Now, I did work at one station here in Los Angeles that had a big following with a morning show. If you remember Good Day LA back in the day, it was a national syndicated broadcast as well. I think it was Good Day something. Anyway, Steve Edwards. Anyway, they tweaked it and they got rid of a lot of those people. And when they got rid of a lot of those people, a lot of the viewers stopped watching that station. And so that was another point in my career where I noticed, like, if you get rid of people that people really like, then people will stop watching. Doesn't matter how good the next group of people comes in, and people really get connected with who they see on TV. And it's you shouldn't mess with that if you want to be successful in broadcasting. And I think, you know, just like the airline industry, I think it comes down to, you know, penny pinchers. And if you can find someone who can do the same job for less, they'll replace the high talent. But the high paid talent is actually what people want to watch. I think there's a fine line there, and I think, what do I think? That's what I think. End of story. Yeah, we're almost 800,000 subscribers. I haven't checked. What are we at? I think we were just over 700 needed yesterday. So right now we're at 799,340. I'm not good at math, so let me do the calculator here. $799,340. 660 more subscribers needed before we hit 800,000 subscribers. I think we're at 7. So 6 days. So what are we on Wednesday? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We may hit it by Sunday. We may hit it by Tuesday of next week. So we're getting closer to 800,000 subscribers here on the channel. Very close. Will we have a special 800,000 subscriber show? Well, if we did, it would probably be here in the office. If it happens during the week. If it happens on Sunday, then obviously we'll celebrate in the streets of El Segundo. Yes, we're on our way to 1 million, that is for sure. And I talked about this last week as well. You know, I'm in no rush to reach 1 million. There was another YouTube channel, another area of the world who hit 1 million subscribers about 6 months ago, and it really didn't do much for them. And in fact, it seems to backfire on them a little bit. So I'm not in any race to 1 million. And I told you guys last week the reason why we slowed down in subscribers was that we stopped doing the YouTube Shorts, which were bringing in the wrong audience. They wanted the short form content. They would hit that subscribe button, but they wouldn't show up for the live streams. And so I noticed, I played all the numbers and said, this is why we're getting this many subscribers, but they're not coming to the live streams. They're not here for the long form. They're here for the short form videos. So I said, we're not going to do that anymore. And the second I put my foot down and said, enough, that's when it started dying down a little bit in terms of subscribers. Now it's gone back up a little bit. Certainly the 24/7 live feed has certainly helped us a little bit as well. So I think we'll probably get to 800,000 subscribers, if not by Sunday, maybe early next week. In what way did it backfire? What I noticed was this certain channel made such a big deal about it that it was almost as if people, and this is my observation, is if people took it as a negative thing. There's a word called showboating a little bit, and I think some people were just kind of turned off by that a little bit. So the last thing I want to do on the channel was reach 1 million subscribers and then have 1,000 people only watching the live streams. Some people look at that number and say, you only have 1,000 people watching, but we have 1 million subscribers. Something can't be right here. So I wanted to make sure our numbers were at least in the right position to, as we get closer to 1 million. You know, with those YouTube Shorts, we were one of the first ones to start the YouTube Shorts in terms of aviation content back when that first started. Boy, we were on that bandwagon. We rode that for as long as we could. I mean, we were bringing in lots of subscribers by those YouTube Shorts, and of course, YouTube Shorts came out of the whole TikTok vertical short video thing. And from what I've been reading, it's just the whole vertical short form everything, including TikTok, YouTube Shorts. It just doesn't have the drive that it had a few years ago. So long form content, certainly live content, is I think what everyone's searching out for right now. Do you have any other questions for me? So a bit later on, I'll jump into the 24/7 live feed. We'll do a little play-by-play call if you guys are up for that. Rob, this is Kevin. Nice to see you're doing well. So well, can I ask you and Rudy, are you planning a trip to Canada in 2025? I think we were talking about going to Vancouver, but everything's been put on hold at this point. So Rob, we'll certainly talk about it if we, well, I take that back. I take that back, Rob. No, we made sure that we didn't talk about where we were going until at least a week or less before we went. We were having issues with certain other channel here locally that if we announced where we were going, they would try to up us by 1 week, and that's just childish games. And so, you know, it happened once, fool me once, actually happened twice, fool me twice. And then I said, you know what, there's just no way. There's no way that they're going to try that a third time. And bingo, they did. And that's when we put our foot down and said, it's not happening anymore. Unfortunately, that's just how we're going to have to play it. We're not into playing childish games. And so, unfortunately, we can't really let you guys know where we're going until at least a week or less before we head off. Gene T with the $10 super chat. Thanks so much, Gene. Says, hey Kevin, why do you refuse to go to Miami? I wouldn't say I refuse to go to Miami. I think Miami is pretty much covered for the most part. There's a lot of channels that go to Miami, are based out of Miami, and I thought it's okay. It's not the best location that I've seen. And in terms of variety, certainly you get to see a lot of aircraft you don't see anywhere else. To me, it's just never been high on my list. I think there's some other places. Some other places that are there to take you. I mean, including we went to Honolulu this past May. I'd like to go back there again. Honolulu, Hawaii is certainly on our list to go back to. I wanted to take you back up to Anchorage. Certainly that's a place a lot of you guys wanted to go back to. We went back to Chicago, which is a great place as well. Boston. I wanted to take you back to New York. I think there's a lot of places. I'm not to say we'll never take you to Miami. To me, it's just not on the top of the list. I really can't give you a good reason why. It's a location I think, to me, it's just been covered enough. It is hot. It's hot. You know our equipment doesn't like hotness. Carrie says, what about Fort Lauderdale, Florida? Well, that's a suburb of Miami. Certainly, if we went to Fort Lauderdale, we'd go to Miami. Yeah, maybe. I'm not going to say it's hard for me to even think about where we're going to go next. This arm has to improve before I can go anywhere. And from what it sounds like, for the most part, it may take up to 6 months, which is going to take me into spring. So if that's the case, we may not travel again until at least spring, early summer. I hope that's not the case. I hope you feel better before then. We'll see. You guys are talking about vehicles on 2-4 left. Oh, yeah. All right, so if you guys are watching the 24/7 live feed, you are noticing the planes are still arriving. Well, there's New Mexico 1 sitting at Terminal 1. Planes are arriving and taking off on 2-4 right. So we're not, between the hours of 2 and 3, you're actually not going to see any planes lining up on 2-4 left. So right now they're doing that monthly maintenance work on 2-4 left. They did it yesterday on 2-4 right. So all the planes were arriving and taking off on 2-4 left between the hours of 2 and 3. They always do this at the end of the month. They usually do 2-4 rights. I'm sorry, 2-4 left close down on a Wednesday and 2-4 right on a Tuesday. So if you're watching, that's why you're not seeing any planes lining up on 2-4 left, but it will reopen at the 3 o'clock hour. Weekly departure asking any BTS specials coming up. Well, it's kind of put on hold as well. Because of this arm, I can't run the BTS camera, and that's really hard. I can't talk about what we're doing. There is something tomorrow. Rudy and I are going to at LAX. I can't, it's embargoed, so I can't talk about it. Our cameras will be rolling, and we'll share some of the video on hopefully Sunday's show, but it's not really a BTS video. But unfortunately, with my right arm being down, it's very hard for me to shoot with a video camera, let alone even an iPhone at this point. So unfortunately, BTS are kind of sitting by the sidelines right now. So as much as I hate to say that, because this time last year, we were doing a lot of awesome BTS videos, including SFO behind the scenes, Amazon. We had just gotten done with Northern Pacific's first inaugural flights, Sky Chefs. We had a lot going on last year. Boy, we were on a roll with the BTS specials here on Airline Videos Live. And in fact, we were talking about scheduling some of those over the summer months, and we were so busy with travel that I told everyone, I said, we can't really do any BTS videos right now because we're doing so much travel. And so once we got done with travel, we were heading back trying to figure out more BTS videos, and that's when Kevin fell on his arm, which basically immediately put all that to the side. So that's the sucky thing about this whole thing. It's hard. It's hard for me to accept the fact that I just can't do certain things right now. And I told the agency, I said, well, we could have Charlie shoot him. And they instantly put me down and said, no, that's not going to work. Nothing to do with Charlie, but you are the face and the voice and the camera person behind those BTS videos. And without you, it's not going to work. So they said, you can't be replaced for the BTS video. So we'll come back and visit it and make sure we get those things back up and running once your arm is back up and healing. So Robert Braun with an awesome back with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Robert. Says, Kevin, you should find a video of the SR-71 takeoff and crank it up. Is that on YouTube? I have to look it up. Robert, thank you so much. Awesome support. Thank you. Spooky Cindy Favorites, super chat. Good to see you, Cindy. Says best wishes, Kevin. Thank you so much, Cindy. Favorite time of the year? Spooky Cindy. Halloween. Oop. Miss Opinionated becoming a silver member once again. Thank you so much, Miss Opinionated. I appreciate that. Coming up on 2 hours of talking again. I'm telling you, there has been more horns outside of LAX this past week than I think I've ever heard. Time flies with the AVL, that is for sure. So again, if you're watching the 24/7 live feed, which is over there on that monitor, you will see that there's nothing lining up on 24 left. All the arrivals and takeoffs happening on 24 right, which is a good time to be at plane spotter paradise, but it's only an hour. That's unfortunate. Nothing like this past summer when we were at plane spotter paradise, having 5-6 hour shows with all arrivals and takeoffs happening on 24 right. Boy, what a scene that was. It's been a lot of moments in the last couple of summers, certainly with the north side runway closures, 24 left being closed down first. No, what would 24 right being closed down at first, and then 24 left. Back and forth, causing A380s to take off on the south side, causing A380s to arrive on 24 left, flying directly over our head at the parking garage, if you remember that. A lot of moments captured in the last 3 years, history in the making here at LAX. Who knows when we're going to see things like that play out once again, like we were seeing. So, as I always say, people are going to go back 100 years from now and look at some of those live streams and go, geez, look at this, look at this. Remember this when this happened? We haven't seen that happen in so long. Mac Rush fan says, Kevin, have you considered a PTX cam with remote control for the 24/7 live feed? Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. The 24/7 live feed that you currently see is a whole different setup. Secured by our SWAT team, AVL SWAT team. Everything's all secured. The future of that certainly will change, and I think as technology gets better, we will certainly change it to a different type of camera, some type of remote situation, and more than likely that camera will probably move to the H Hotel, to more than likely our 13th floor location. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine the 24/7 live feed on the 13th floor location? Now there's something to look forward to. I've had discussions with the H Hotel about this already. They are open to that. I said we would look at it once again when we got closer to figuring out what we needed to do to basically pull that off. Like I said earlier, this 24/7 live feed that we're giving you right now was a last minute kind of situation, using the resources and partnerships that we already have to pull that off. But it won't be the last. We will certainly make it the best feed eventually. It's just going to have some time. Because it takes some time to figure that all out. It's not just about the camera, like I said. It's the camera. How are you going to connect it to the software? How is it going to be AI? Is it going to track the plane, or do you have to do it remotely? There's a lot of things to kind of look into it. If you know me, I want it to be the best. I will not give you a lousy security camera with graininess. That's just not going to work for me. I want it to be the best thing you guys have ever seen in 24/7 live cameras. So give me a little bit of time to just research that. Of course, it's going to take some money as well, so we do have to budget that in on what we do. So for the meantime, just enjoy what we do have going. Misopinionated back with the $5 super chat. Thanks so much, Misopinionated. This is Kevin. I've had 3 foot surgeries. It takes time to recover. Wishing you a healthy recovery. P.S. I call PT the torture chamber. Oh, geez, don't tell me. Physical therapy. Take Motrin before you go. I am so thankful that that's about a month away. I can't even imagine doing physical therapy on my arm right now. It would be killer. Hopefully in a month from now, it's not as sore. I'll go into it looking at it as it's a way for me to recover and get my arm back, and whatever I have to do to pull that off, pain, no pain, I will go through with it. It's important for me to get my arm back in its original form. So I think that's my mindset of going into it. This is what's going to get me back to normal, then so be it. I'll get through it. Chrissy Girl with his super chat. Thank you so much, Chrissy Girl. It says, we'll get through this, Kevin. We have your back. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We do have a British Airways. It's got the Great Future sticker by 281 coming up from London Heathrow at 777-300ER. Stand by 1 second, I think. Our monitor in the back. Going up. Suggestions. He was suggesting wall. Lynette says, you got this, Kevin. Thank you so much, Lynette. I got it. Oop. All right. CPA 919 with the $5 super chat. Thanks so much, CPA. Says, joining you in Club 49 today. Can't think of a better way to spend it. Well, happy birthday. Welcome to 49. I'm taking 49 slowly. Very slowly. I'll turn the 50 in April. That's months away. Months away. And by the time I turn 50, I hope that my arm will be back to normal just in time for my birthday. CPA 919, happy birthday. 49. If you guys are just joining us, I was showing a photo earlier of my arm. They sent me the x-ray that was taken, it would be 2 weeks ago tomorrow. I was showing it to you guys earlier if you're interested to see what exactly is going on inside of Kevin's arm. This is my humerus bone. And you can see on the top, it was cracked in many pieces. So they went in there with a, well, it looks like a Swiss cheese plate. It's a metal plate. And I think we counted 12 to 13 screws. There's about 3 on the bottom and about 10 or so on the top. Don't ask me where those screws are. I would assume they're in the bone. They're not protruding out of my skin, so I'm sure they're in the bone. It's very interesting for me to actually look at this and think that that's actually in my arm. But as you can see, that's how serious of the injury it was. Yes, indeed. And there's my rib cage to the right. Anyway, there you go. I originally said it looked like a tree. It reminds me of a tree. It's very surreal to look at that and think that that's actually right here. Right here, going all the way down. It's very interesting. Yeah, that was my show and tell for today. Last week I was showing you a few other things. That's my show and tell here today. I still have yet to ask them if I'm going to have any issues going through TSA. That's a good question. Am I going to have issues going through TSA with that metal? I don't know how thick that metal plate is. It was interesting because I remember looking at the x-ray at the first time, and I don't remember seeing those holes, that Swiss cheese look. I don't know if that's deliberately put in there so that muscle tissue can grow in between it or something. I'm sure there's a reason for the holes in my Swiss cheese cutter in my arm. I'm sure someone could fill me in. Oh, is the sun finally out? Oh my gosh, look at that. The sun is finally out on the 24/7 live cam, and New Mexico 1 pushing it back from Terminal 1. All right, well, things will get back to normal there on the 24/7 live cam. The planes will line up once again on 24 left at the 3 o'clock hour, which is coming up in about 6 minutes from now. There's crows. Speaking of crows, you know, crows are, and you think about Halloween time, you know, crows and spiders are kind of put into the whole scary elements. Someone told me, was it Charlie told me, that crows, if you get angry at a crow or try to do something to a crow, the crow is so smart that it will remember who you are and come back to haunt you. Is that true? Crow, I never did anything to you. It's like the crow was waiting outside, waiting for me to leave the office so it can come in and take a dig at my shoulder. I never hurt you, crow. That was scary. Hearing about that, I'm like, no wonder crows are part of the whole Halloween time. Jason White with the super chat. Thanks so much. Jason says, Kevin, how's the camera powered on the 24/7? Out of an outlet, believe it or not. Yeah. Thanks to our great partners allowing us to put that camera in a very secure place. Everything is powered. Powered. Wait, hold on. You guys are talking about the crows. YVR Nixus, I had a crow stalking me in my own backyard for 2 months. What did you do to it, Nick? I'll never look at a crow the same way, including the one that's waiting for me outside the office. Mark Joyner with an awesome $50 super chat. Thank you so much, Mark. Appreciate that awesome support. Says on the physical therapy, you may get water therapy. You're in warm pool and give you a towel, low impact. Just take it easy. Great to see you. Yeah, I guess we'll find out. Whatever it takes, I'll take it. Warm pool water sounds good to me. I'll take cold water. Mark, thank you so much. Appreciate your awesome support there. Thank you. No. Oh, you think that crow wants to be my friend? The Emirates A380 Super, 3 minutes out. Actually, I'm running almost an hour behind, about 45 minutes behind. I'm looking at the 24/7 live feed right now. It looks like New Mexico 1 holding. Looks like he's possibly going to go to 24 left, waiting for 24 left to reopen. Of course, you can check out all the action on the 24/7 live camera here on Airline Videos Live. Yeah, it looks like he's New Mexico 1 heading to 24 left. So it looks like 24 left is back open. Also, the Emirates A380 Super number 2 for arrival there on the north side. I'll tell you, you know, since we started the 24/7 live feed, we set that up. This is my thing. But I gotta tell you, I haven't watched any local TV. I haven't watched any movies. I haven't watched anything except this live feed on the big screen TV. That is the best way to watch this live feed. If you have a big screen TV, even just a regular TV, make sure to watch it on the live feed. and just have it on in the background, because sometimes, and I talked about this yesterday, I think it's fun basically to turn off Flight Radar 24, don't see what's coming in, and so you're pleasantly surprised when you're watching it. You know, it's kind of, Freedom 1 was in earlier and took off on the live feed, and I had no idea that that was coming in today. I just think it's fun to just sit there and watch. It's like old school plane spotting. You never know what you're going to see. So my eyes are on it all throughout the course of the day.
Number 4252, before that pull out.
And I think it's great that a lot of you guys are busy, you know, with our regular live streams. You know, we go 5 to 8 hours, whatever it may be. People come and go through that through the course of the day, but you know, with this 24/7 live feed, you really can pop in for 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 10 minutes there, come back later in the afternoon, evening, you can watch it. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool not to pound our chests, so to speak, and say, yeah, we got the only 24/7 live feed at LEX. That's not what I'm saying. I just think it's kind of cool. I think I'm enjoying it. If I'm enjoying it, hopefully you guys are enjoying it as well. Robert, one of our great mods, with a $5 super chat. A bunch of crows is only a murder if there's probable cause. Good one there, Roberts. Oh. Do I hear the A380? I believe I hear the A380. Emirates A380 Super. Of course, you can see that happening. Boy, I'll tell you, it is looking pretty there in the 24/7 live feed. Finally, blue skies and white clouds. Will we see the A380? Should be seen in here shortly. There it is. Beautiful shot, beautiful. Brandon asking Kevin, have you ever thought about creating an alliance with other streamers? Well, I think we have our friends in the YouTube streaming world. Certainly, a lot of you guys know we have a close relationship with Runway DFW and Walt. That's been going on for years. Patrick, they're in Hawaii. I'm sure there's a few others. In terms of, if you're talking about other LAX live streamers, I'll be honest with you, there's only two that have reached out and sent me an email and said, I'm really sorry about what you did with your arm. It really sucks. I hope you get back to producing live streams again. And I have no problem announcing who those two people are, because I think it was really nice that they reached out. Was Daniel, Mr. Gaucho, and Sal with Cali Planes. Those are the only two. Actually, I take that back. There was three. NetJets, the father and son that usually broadcast on Saturday. The father actually did reach out as well. So there was three. Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. Think Planes, if you're watching, don't yell at me. Of course, Simon and Liz, they're in Manchester. Simon and Liz, we have a great relationship with them as well. But if you're talking about here in Los Angeles, or maybe just in the U.S., we really don't have too many friends, and I always wonder why that is. You know, we're very transparent in everything that we do, and I'm not gonna try not to get it too deep with this, but if you guys have been watching the channel You know, there's obviously one channel that I've had an issue with from the very beginning, only for the fact that they, I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it. Don't get into it. But you know what I'm going with this. But they never reached out. They never reached out to me after this accident. And I'll be honest with you, am I surprised by that? No. Not surprised by that, but I do give credit to Mr. Gaucho and Sal with Cali Planes, as well as NetJets for reaching out. Those are the 3 LAX streamers. It took their time to reach out and say hello. So no, I'm not going. Shade is not incoming. No, I'm not going there. Not going there. Not going to go there. Dom Geek with the $2 super chat. Thanks so much, Dom Geek says, what do you call 2 crows? An attempted murder. Jeez. Hopefully there's not 2 outside. I'm only hearing 1, hopefully. Shade. Gina says shade is incoming. It's so funny, on Flight Radar 24, it's showing that the Emirates made a U-turn just over the In-N-Out Burger, is now heading to the east. Anybody seen that on their Flight Radar? It's not just mine, right? Literally over the In-N-Out Burger, made a U-turn, is now heading back to the east. I can tell you right now, I confirmed that on their 24/7 live feed, that it's not making a U-turn over the In-N-Out Burger and heading to the east. Christina asking, are you having apple salad from Panera Bread again tonight? Yeah. What was it? Monday, I ordered the apple salad from Panera, and it had no apple slices on top. I was devastated. I was devastated. And they gave me a $5 credit on an $18 salad. That's fine. So I went through with ordering it again yesterday, and I'll be happy to report there was extra apple slices on top of the apple salad at Panera. So it's very healthy, it's very delicious, and so that's why I'll probably order it again. DoorDash. Costs a fortune, but it's convenient. Habanero 0293 with a $2 super chat says, cause means Diddy's plane might be arriving too soon. Too soon. Habanero, thank you so much. They might as well give you an apple orchard for $19. It is expensive. But it is. In terms when it comes to, I wouldn't call Panera Bread fast food. I don't really like fast food. I don't eat fast food. But it is fast and easy, and it is fresh, and I think it's extremely healthy. So that's why I order it. So I'm trying to stay healthy. Though, I'll be honest with you, I did order the 4-pack of the chocolate chip cookies from them yesterday. Okay, if you want to know my thought process on ordering the chocolate chip cookies 4-pack yesterday, was that I'm taking a pain drug before I go to bed, and I have nothing else in the house to eat. So I thought, well, how about have half of a cookie before you go to sleep, and you take it with the medication. That was my thought process of ordering the cookies. Might as well have dessert toward the end of the night before you take a medication, right? Plus they're good. Why not? Indulge a little bit. I can have a cookie. I deserve a cookie. Out of all the pain I go through, I can have a cookie. I deserve a cookie. One cookie. One. I had one last night. Had one last night. I'll have one every night. All right. I tell you guys too much my life story. You realize that? Too much. And then I get messages and emails from you guys. Kevin, I hate to be your mother figure, but you shouldn't be doing this, shouldn't be doing that. All right. Everything in moderation. You know, that's what Angie Bailey said the other day. She said, everything in moderation, everything in moderation. And Angie was right. So, gosh darn it all, I'm going to have one cookie a day. I probably won't reorder them. But I'll be honest with you, I did order those so that I had something to take the medication with. As crazy as that may sound, that's really where my thought process was. Eat the cookie, take the medication. Because you can't take the medication on an empty stomach. Does that make sense? Hopefully it makes sense. And the dispatcher back with a $5 super chat. Thanks so much, Anna. This is when I worked at Panera, I would eat the frozen cookie dough pox all the time. I don't know how I didn't gain 500 pounds. Boy, oh boy. I know how that is. When I worked at Arby's, the manager would come over to me and say, Kevin, it's your job to make the cookies today. I was like, oh yeah. Taking the cookie dough out of the box, out of the freezer, nothing better. Crow, I'm telling you, I never hurt you. Wherever you are. Oh, that's right. So it's not just on my Flight Radar 24, the Emirates now heading down to Aviation Boulevard, heading to the Proud Bird. So it made a U-turn over the In-N-Out Burger, now heading to the Proud Bird. It's got food on its mind, that's for sure. Doug says, Kevin, you got to be happy with your subscribers still increasing while you're only doing one live show at the airport a week. You're doing a great job. That is a good point there, Don. Our subscriber count is not decreasing. Probably the only thing that's decreasing is our memberships, which is the money that we rely on for monthly income here on the channel. That has gone down. I talked about it a lot last Thursday here on the channel. I haven't checked the numbers, but I think we quit the bleeding. The bleeding stopped, so I think we're just about 1.1 to 1.2 thousand subscribers down. 1.2 thousand members in the last 30 days. So the memberships have gone down since this accident. A lot probably has to do with the gifted memberships just not being gifted as much when we're down to only one Sunday show, and of course the show as well. So that's understandable, but like I said from the get-go, the best thing you can do to help support the channel during this time of less shows and keep basically the lights running is to become a member of the channel. That is the best thing to do. So some of you get it. Apparently some don't, and that's fine. It is what it is. We'll get through it. Crow? Is the Emirates now is that the Proud Bird? No. Emirates A380 having a good old time flying over LAX. All right, 2 hours of talking here. Tina Maria gifting 1 airline at Videos Live membership. Thank you so much, Tina. I appreciate that. And Arjun S becoming a gold member once again. Thank you so much, Arjun. Appreciate that, you guys. So I'm thinking, if you guys don't have any other questions for me, we'll end this. And I will try to pop into the 24/7 live feed a bit later. What time is it? 3 o'clock? In a few hours, I could pop into the live feed up on the 24/7 live feed if you guys want that.
24 left line point, S105 with you.
5, you want to verify 124 right, take the land.
Third land, 24 right.
CPA 919 gifting 1 airline at Videos Live membership. Thank you so much, CPA 919. Appreciate that. Thank you. Miss Opinionated also gifting 1 airline at Videos Live membership. Thank you so much, Miss Opinionated. I appreciate that. Renee says, Kevin, can't wait to see the Halloween Dorito Walmart video again. You know, that's actually here on our YouTube channel. Just search Airline Videos Live Halloween. I don't think I have it. I don't have it on our code or encoder Ed, but I wanted to share a story. You guys were asking about the fog the other night. We were saying how spooky and eerie the fog looked on the 24/7 live feed, and someone said someone should write a story about how spooky the fog is. So I came up with something, and here it is. On a foggy night at LAX, the airport was I'm sorry. Did I write the... Sorry, wrong one. Take 2. On a foggy night at LAX, the airport was blanketed in mist with planes emerging as ghostly silhouettes. Actually, you know what? Stand by. Let me do this right. Hello? There we go. All right, here we go. On a foggy night at LAX, the airport was blanketed in mist with planes emerging as ghostly silhouettes through the haze. The soft crunch of Cool Ranch Doritos echoed in the background as a few tired plane spotters sat in their cars, snacking while watching the surreal scene unfold. Just like the A380 broke through the clouds, their headlights piercing the fog as the sound of engines mixed with the rustling of snack bags. From the Airline Videos Live 24/7 camera, it was a mesmerizing sight, an eerie yet captivating scene where even Cool Ranch Doritos could distract from the magic of aviation. There you go. How's that? There you go. You always gotta find a way to put the Cool Ranch Doritos into the story, right? All right. Well, with that being read and said, I think it's time to end the Q&A here today. In just over 2 hours of live broadcasting. Thanks, you guys, for tuning in here today. I will see you a bit later in the 24/7 live feed where I'll go do a little play-by-play action as if it was a real broadcast. Ryo, thanks, Super Chat. Thank you so much, Ryo. It says, like, Evan, do you want to come to Japan? There's a place in Japan called the Observation Deck where you can get a good view of the planes. Yes, I'd love to come to Japan. I think that's probably on our long list, but certainly would like to get to Japan. Thank you so much. Adrian with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Adrian. Appreciate that awesome support. Adrian's been in our 24/7 live broadcast, chatting away. Glad you're enjoying it there, Adrian. And by the way, Adrian, he painted that United Tulip painting for us, given to us when we were at JFK there in New York last March. Now it's hanging in our office. All right. I am going to go ice and lay down, put this shoulder to rest a little bit, and I'll see you guys on the 24/7 live feed a little later. All right, thanks you guys for your awesome support. Thanks for joining me here today on another Q&A. One last glimpse. You want one last glimpse of Kevin's shoulder? Talk about scary. That is super scary. All right, if you're just joining us, that is Kevin's x-ray of what was done to his humerus bone. And it's not humorous, it's not funny, it's real life. There it is, right there. Blah. All right, I'm gonna go put that arm to rest for a few hours, and I'll see you guys once again on the 24/7 live feed in just a few hours. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's right here on Airline Videos Live 24/7. That is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Live camera here at LAX for all of you to enjoy. Remember, it is a members only chat. So if you aren't a member, please think about becoming a member and help support the channel and join our live chats. A lot of you guys in and out throughout the course of the day and all loving it. Thanks you guys so much. We'll see you soon. And of course, our next live broadcast with Rudy is for the Big Sunday Show back at Imperial Hill. Once again, we'll be back at Imperial Hill on Sunday starting at 10 a.m. Pacific. Imperial Hill once again this Sunday. So if you're in town, come by, say hello, grab your goodie bags and your trading cards as well. All right, you guys, we'll see you soon on the 24/7 live feed. Thanks for a great month. Always doing a great job. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you soon.
Up and wait, runway 24 left, Southwest 38.
Left line, plate air. Every time on this,